Final Four, and then we'll take a good look at my Final Four and go on from there. But I have UNC. Big upset. I'm really going out on a little limb here. UNC advancing to the Final Four in the East. Hey, listen, you start picking upsets, you start losing money. That's what happens. But upsets, it should be called, another name for upsets is sucker bet. All right? That's where they get all the suckers. all the people that think they're going to win big because they're the only ones that know, the inside track. This team is going to do it. I know it. Nobody else thinks so. Yeah, you're a sucker. You're the reason people like me get money for stuff like this. Oh, and I have got money for NCAA pools before, just so you know. And I paid taxes on it for any federal agents who may be listening. I know there's so many of you. I'm incredibly popular amongst the federal agent fan base. Recent studies have shown. Let's move down to the Midwest, or over, or middle. On my sheet, it's down. Geographically, it is not. It is where I'm at. Midwest. All right, I said yesterday, I like Kansas over UNLV in the second round, and I like Clemson over Vanderbilt in the second round, leading to a Kansas-Clemson matchup. In that matchup, I take Kansas. I like Clemson, and the thing I like about Clemson, and if you go and you look at their schedule and what they've done this season, it's not that they have a bunch of wins over good teams, but they've played a lot of good teams, and they don't get blown out by them. They're right there in those games, in every single one of those games. They've shown they can be on the same floor with teams like North Carolina and Duke. They even beat Duke. They just beat Duke in the ACC tournament. So I like Clemson. I think they're a good team. I like them over Vandy. However, I think Kansas this year gets the job done and gets back to the Elite Eight. And Kansas is a real deal. I like Brandon Rush a lot. Bill Self is a terrific coach. I can put my feelings aside, from being a wounded Illinois fan from when he abandoned us a few years ago and left us with this Bruce Weber guy who's greatly underachieved. But I like Bill Self. I like Brandon Rush. I like Kansas. I like Clemson too, but I like Kansas more. So Kansas moves on to the Elite Eight. Moving down, I have a USC-Wisconsin matchup in the second round because I liked USC over K-State, and I liked Wisconsin over Cal State Fullerton. I had USC winning that matchup in an upset over Wisconsin. All right, and then I have them taking on Georgetown, who I've picked to beat Davidson. So a USC-Georgetown matchup. Tiffer says, why do I want Kent State to pull an upset in the second round? Do you want them to beat Kansas? Hey, it could happen. I mean, Kansas has been bounced out of the tournament to teams they should not have lost to in the past. And I got Kent State getting beat in the first round by UNLV. But those are 8-9 games. Those can go either way. Either way. But I think Kansas pull it together this year and do some good things in the tournament. I really do. But the USC-Georgetown matchup that I have here, I'm taking Georgetown. You pick upsets early, somewhat kind of upsets, and I feel like I picked USC over K-State, not an upset, but USC over Wisconsin to get into the Sweet 16, it's kind of an upset. Wisconsin's a 3 seed, right? They're ranked, they're established. USC's led by a freshman point guard, and he's one of the 1-and-out guys. He's O.J. Mayo. He'll be in the pros next year. But I like USC in that upset over Wisconsin. However, luck runs out against Georgetown. I'm afraid Georgetown is a real, legitimate, good team. I mean, they really are. And I'm with everybody. I think Roy Hibbert's a little overrated. I do. I think he's a little overrated. I don't think he's necessarily going to be a great big man in historical terms when it comes to basketball, but he's good enough. He's good enough for this tournament. I don't think he'll translate into a really successful NBA center, He'll get some PT. He'll be all right, but he's not going to be, he's not going to be a dominating force. He's not that kind of guy. Georgetown just won a game, I forget, against some team in their conference tournament. I forget who they were even playing. They won a game. He didn't even score a point. He had 0 points. Georgetown still won. I like Pat Ewing Jr. Right? And I used to rock Georgetown hats when I was a lad, just because I thought they were cool. So, Georgetown wins because I used to wear Georgetown hats when I was a teenager. So Georgetown wins. That leads me to an exhilarating 1 versus 2 Elite Eight matchup, Kansas and Georgetown. And that's, I got a 1-2 up in the East. I had UNC Tennessee, a 1 versus 2, and a 1 versus 2 down here in the Midwest, Kansas versus Georgetown. And here's where I think Kansas runs out of luck, because I'm taking Georgetown. I'm taking Georgetown to knock Kansas off, and again, cut Bill Self just a few games short of the championship game. Even though he's got the talent, he's got everything there, still just something. Something's not letting him go all the way, and this year it'll be Georgetown. Georgetown will stop Kansas. That's my prediction. So, on the left side of my page, I've got a Final Four set up, a half of my Final Four announced. North Carolina, Georgetown. And that will be, my friends, a hell of a game. I promise. Let's jump over to the other side, the South. Facelift Cat has joined us in the chat room. Great name. Says it took 20 minutes to get in here today. Just the chat room? Have you been able to listen? Just not get into the chat room? No, I got right in when I tried earlier. Who knows? It's been acting funny. Apparently something happened where my stream, VRN every day is automatically programmed to pick up a stream that I'm putting out there from my computer. It's automatically programmed to pick up this stream every day from 4 to 6. I shut off